Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are all having a good day. Today's upload is going to be a long range forecast, long range updating you guys on mainly the big storm that is going to be occurring across the central part of the country and behind it bringing some colder air. And I won't be really focusing on other parts of the country today, like the northwest or even parts of the northeast, as much as just this big storm and maybe the pattern across the United States overall. But this storm actually may have a hurricane wrapped up behind it in its tail, which I'll show you, or a tropical storm, not a hurricane, which very interesting. It's a huge storm. It's just an interesting setup. So if you like these type of videos that I bring you guys, I really like making them for you. So to show me that you guys like this, consider hitting that subscribe button, clicking on it, not hitting it, clicking it, and if you're an old returning viewer but haven't subscribed yet, you're not a member yet, consider doing so if you like this channel. If you're a new viewer, this is the first video you're watching, consider subscribing, checking out this channel, and then consider. So thank you for that. So let's first get into this. So right now what we're having is, for the past several days actually, what we've been having, let's draw this out quickly for you, is we have this low centered right here marked by this L right there, and it's spinning counterclockwise, and it's just shooting up loads and loads of rainfall into this portion of the United States. So this area of the United States has been absolutely slammed by heavy rain for the past several days. However, this storm now moves up here during the upcoming couple of days, and it will shift its heavy rain parameters here and could have some snow over on this side of the country. So very interesting, very cool, and actually once it's lifting itself up to the north, sorry about that, once it's lifting itself up to the north by it being right here, actually there could be a tropical storm of some sort going along with it. So very interesting. I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. So you can see this shifts up, the storm ends up in Colorado, the heavy rain. I mean, this is a massive storm, fairly strong, has some of that wintry precip on its backside, extending into the North Dakota, South Dakota, Badlands area, and you can see a very strong circulation right there. If you live in northwest Iowa, I know I have one friend that always asks whether I'll see strong winds in northwest Iowa. With this system, potentially yes. I don't think anything record-breaking, but potentially yes. And like I was talking about with this system, you could see right there's a system with its snow and its warm front and its cold front right there, with a tropical storm right up behind it, evolving into another low. A very interesting pattern, and it looks to be very heavy rain for portions of the northeastern part of the country and eastern part of the country. So that's also interesting. We also may be experiencing another tropical storm hitting the southwest. So again, those areas that were inundated by flooding from Tropical Storm Rosa, or the remnants of Tropical Storm Rosa, may get hit again by another tropical storm of some sort. And then we also notice this little system behind this. Behind this big system, in its wake, it leaves a lot of cold air behind it. I mean, the 540 line is typically our freezing line, and if I were to mark out the 540 line right now, the 540 line is going right along there. So technically, model-wise, anything north of this or anywhere between this should be freezing below 32 degrees. That was really bad too. Below 32 degrees. That was really bad. But and that, with those cold temperatures in place, we have this system coming out here with a lot of cold air to tap into. And with that cold air to tap into, it has quite a bit of snow on its backside. And you can see some snow may get into portions of northern Illinois, Iowa. So again, do I actually think snow will fall in northern Illinois and Iowa? No, I don't. However, it just goes to show you that the temperatures are going to be cold enough for borderline, snowfall to be happening. So just goes to show you how below average these temps are going to be if we're going to be seeing, snow in mid-October all the way that far south. And again, we keep seeing that cold weather pattern regime, but then it again eventually starts letting up, and we might start breaking up into a different type of pattern. So now let's actually go back through all of these storms, all of these systems, and go to the 2-meter temp anomaly, which is a 2-meter temperature anomalies, or basically shows you what and where and why will be, sorry about that. I'm wording this way wrong. It's gonna show you where it's gonna be above or below average at what given time. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And below average temperatures are marked by the blues, and above average is marked by the reds. And we see that right now, for the next at least couple of days, we will be seeing the northwestern side of the country being below average. But that quickly shifts as this warm air mass gets pushed out by this big storm. And you can see that warm mass, I mean, we're going to have two contrasting sides of way below average to much above average. And that creates a perfect path for storms to ride up that path, ride up that gradient, ride up that little passageway between these two masses of air, and that allows for that storm to form. You can see that cold air pushes down further south. So if you live in areas like Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Arkansas, anywhere, pick your location here, and you can see there is going to be quite a bit of blues across the southeast. So yes, that would mean below average temperatures, or that would mean a cool off, a relief. I know I've been getting a ton of comments. I've been getting flooded by comments, people from the southeast saying that they're sick of this warmth and they want this cold air. And I'm saying that for the next a week after the storm, you have a fairly good chance of seeing below average temperatures across the southeast. Actually, a very good chance. And you can see that this does not extend past 234 since it's a new model run. So let's go back to the older one that has everything passes through, or has, all the rest of the hours. And you can see then after that the warm air may come back in, but not nearly as big of a pattern as it was right now. Just, quick storms passing by. So I would say we still have about 100 hours, maybe half a week, couple of days of left of warm temperatures across the southeastern, eastern portions of the United States before the cold air pours in and rushes in from the north. So that is why that one system that I was showing you earlier may be actually producing some snow way further down south, because with these below average temperatures, we see actually freezing temperatures coming around, frost and freezes, which could bring some snow if there's moisture available. So right now we're looking at the 2-meter air temperature shaded. You could see during this warm phase, very warm temperatures, 80s, 70s, 60s in the warm sector, and then 30s and 40s, and even some 20s showing up across in the blue areas in the northern section of the storm. That passes through the storm, and you can see just that cold front blasting through. I mean, bringing temperatures anywhere from the 70s and 80s to the 40s and 30s within a couple of hours. And you could see the cold, the frost, the freezes are way extending down to the south. I think the National Weather Service will be putting out a bunch of frost advisories and freeze warnings for another big chunk of the United States. You could see during the night gets down pretty cold. During the day, 50s, doesn't get much warmer. And actually the peak of the cold, I'd say, is somewhere right along here. You can see it gets down fairly far to the south up into northern Illinois. And actually right there you can see it gets down all the way down into the southeast, into the mountains, into the North Carolina, Virginia areas, West Virginia, Tennessee, and even parts of northern Georgia, mountainous northern Georgia. And then it moderates a little bit. You could see some warmer temperatures, but I don't think nearly as warm as what we've been seeing with this huge storm that has been bringing contrasts of temperatures across much of the country. So, I mean, just look at that right there. That was actually the first storm that passed through a couple days ago. And now you can see things have warmed back up. And it'll continue warming back up, and then they get pushed out by this storm. So, very interesting, very cool storm, very cool pattern. We go to total snowfall accumulations. You could see, let's just run through this whole thing. Mainly the most snowfall amounts, I would say, in South Dakota, North Dakota, and parts of northern Minnesota. And then maybe Nebraska, maybe some parts of Iowa could see some snow showers. And off the lakes, when the cold air runs over the warm lakes, there could be some lake effect snow showers actually coming off the lakes. So that would be also very interesting to see that. And of course, a lot of mountain snow in the mountains. Fairly good amount of snow, especially in areas like Wyoming. So I would also like to show you the 6 to 10 day outlook by the Climate Prediction Center. So let's quickly go to that. You can see that they have below average temperatures, actually fairly below average temperatures, or their confidence in the below average temperatures is fairly high for a good chunk of the country. And the precip, I think they're underdoing it. I would include the precip way up here with above average, and I would decrease this below average just to the northwest. And now we go to the 8 to 14 day outlook. You can see the cold air is minimalized, more at least compared to the 6 to 10 day outlook. It's still there, but a little bit less. And I think they're misrepresenting this here, but I would shift this down to the southeast, the blue. So the southeast, because since the southeast will see some cooler conditions with this pattern change. And then the preset probability, you can see actually things finally start to dry out across the north. People may see this as a bad sign, but this is actually a great sign. Many locations here have been way above average and need a break. So that is it for today's video. Hopefully it was quick. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode.